Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hana Mulia. On this occasion, I will explain about discourse analysis conversation. The conversation is the most basic form of talk. A conversation is a talk or communication between two or more people in which information is exchanged, negotiated, and maintained in social relations. Conversation analysis examines a daily spoken discourse, aims to understand from a fine-grained analysis of the conversation how people manage their interaction and develop social relations through the use of spoken discourse. Conversation analysis focuses on the analysis of the text for its argumentation and explanation, rather than consideration of psychological or other factors that might be involved in the production and interpretation of the discourse. Conversation is seen as being context-shaped and context-renewing in the sense that someone's discussion builds on what has been said or what has been going on. It creates a condition of what will be said or responded to next. Conversation analysis has investigated aspects of spoken discourse such as sequences of related utterances, preferences for particular combination of utterances, turn-taking, feedback, repair, conversational openings, also closings, discourse markers, and responses what the speaker carry out when the interaction. The speaker's interest in the topic of analysis aims to demonstrate how speakers both produce and respond to evolving social context using conversational rather than contextual data. One of the opening conversations was investigated by telephone and found the same pattern in the opening conversation. Most frequently, recipients self-identified in their first term after they had recognized their caller. The greeting and "How are you?" sequences found in this conversation to open the conversation by saying who is on the line and what the conversation will be about. Closing conversation points out of pre-closing and closing move. The pre-closing is often made up of two turn units consisting of items such as "okay" and "alright" with falling intonation. The closing is made up of two further units such as "bye-bye" and "goodbye." The closing may also be preceded by a number of pre-sequences, such as the making of arrangement, referring back to something previously said in the conversation, the initiation of a new topic which might not be responded to, good wishes, or restatement of the reason for calling and thanks for calling. The closing may be extended by continued repetition of pre-closing, such as "sleep well" and "you too." Turn-taking is a term for the people to take and manage spoken interaction according to particular situation. The basic rule in the conversation is that one person speaks at a time, after which they may select another speaker. Or another speaker may take up the turn without being selected. There are a number of ways in which we can signal that we have come to the end of a turn. This might be through the falling intonation, then pausing. People might end with a signal such as or the word "anyway." The end of a turn may also be signalized through eye contact, body position and movement, and voice pitch. An example of turn-taking in the classroom is when the teacher appointing a student to answer a question, or perhaps another student raises his hand to ask permission to take a turn. Adjacency pairs are a fundamental unit of conversational organization and a key way in which meaning are communicated and interpreted in conversation. An adjacency pair is composed of two utterances by two speakers. The first speaker utterance provokes a responding to second speaker. For instance, question-answer, compliment thanks. Adjacency pairs across cultures often show miscommunication and confusion during conversation due to cultures and behaviors differences. In some cultures, for example, declining an invitation to eat is seen as very rude and be avoided if at all possible. In others, a compliment may be interpreted as a request for a gift. Thank you so much for your attention. I would like to apologize if there is a mistake.